it ended up in defeat. Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0. What are your thoughts on the game?
We seemed to come out in the second half really flat. I don't think we ever really established our style of play in the second half. And especially after let's be honest, the mistake from Kepa.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of like deflated us completely. And then 4 minutes later, we're giving up another goal that honestly, like, if you look at the replays, you're like, where's our defense? No one is covering anything. I feel like that mistake by Kepa kind of like completely deflated us for the rest of the second half, and we never recovered. Calafiori coming on gave us a little bit of a spark. He was the only guy who seemed to record any shots in the second half, which is weird for a left back. Yeah, I don't think we ever really got back to a level where we could compete.
Okay. What do you think the thought process was for the manager to start your second goalkeeper in a cup final?
Look, I think there is a logic to it. Kepa's the guy who got us here. He's played the Carabao Cup matches before this, so this match is his to start. And honestly, like I do feel like the Carabao Cup is like it's the third cup, right? Look, no one really cares about it unless they win it.
We need it.
Well, I mean,
We need it
hey,
for the confidence.
When we win it, it's great. But honestly, if I was going to have this Arsenal squad lose against the City side this year, I'd rather it be this game and not 3 weeks.
Premier League.
Yeah, not 3 weeks from now.
Okay. So I wonder. You see Manchester City with the high line every time in the Premier League, and they did that also today. Why do you think the manager didn't play a player like Martinelli to break into the defense or to have like a counter attack? Because when we came, like you said, we were flat in the second half, and the pressure was on us. I feel like that time, when we get the ball, we should have just launched it to Martinelli, beat one or two players, and then we have a chance on goal. Why do you think it took so long for the manager to make that substitution?
I do think that there should have been earlier substitutions in this game, especially as it became clear, even before the Kepa mistake, it became very clear in the second half that we were not at our best, and we were not really imposing ourselves on this game at all. I think the problem is a player like Martinelli is a guy who, honestly, before his ACL surgery, was a lot faster and was a guy who we could count on to get in behind defenses more regularly. But he's a guy who has really suffered from, since his injury, not being as fast.
But we saw him play against Manchester City this season. We saw him do that against Liverpool, and we saw him do that against, I think, Bayern. I just feel like he has. If you want to gamble, I think that you could just gamble on him. And, we didn't see much from Gyökeres today. And we think Havertz tried. He missed a very good chance in the first half.
Oh, yes.
But I just feel like when you want to gamble with players, this is when you gamble with the fast-paced players that you have in the team.
I feel like Martinelli is, like I said, not quite as fast as he used to be. And I think that's a bit of a problem for him as a player because his personality and his style of play has been about being fast. And he's just not as fast. We saw this before in Arsenal anyway with Hector Bellerin, right?
Yeah.
A man who was so fast. Oh my gosh. Running down Gomis from 10 yards back against Swansea City. Insane stuff. And then again, injured and lost that step and couldn't quite get back to the level he was. Meanwhile, you see a guy like Santi Cazorla, right? A guy who never built his football brand on being a fast guy or even being a tough guy, a guy who can, because of course he's yay big, right?
Yeah.
But he's a skills guy, right?
Yeah.
So he shows up, with a completely rebuilt leg. And he's still got the skills, because that's up here, right?
Yeah.
You can't injure that.
Yeah.
So he can show up and come back and be who he used to be before the injury. I think the problem with speed guys in general
Right.
is when they get injured, they think they're still speed guys. But if they've lost a half a step, a whole step, more, they keep trying to do the things they used to do, and it just doesn't work out that well. And I feel like Martinelli, and I'll be honest, with the exception of the Champions League, where he seems to have absolutely thrived, if we can just somehow give him the patch and tell him it's a Champions League game, he's going to be great.
Okay, well, let's say we have 3 finals left. We have the FA Cup, we have the Champions League, and we have the Premier League. What do you think we need to see these games off?
I think for me, every match at this point is a cup final. It's got to be. We take on Southampton in the FA Cup.
Yep.
It's a cup final. We got to play it like a cup final. Like we played Everton last week, where we were not giving up until the last whistle. It's got to be that every match from now on, because that's the only way we're going to get through this season with silverware.
How many silverware do you think Arsenal will end up with this season?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Just call it.
That's tough. You know what?
Yep.
I think we got the other 3.
The other 3?
I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I feel like this was the toughest one only because traditionally, from an Arsenal standpoint, it's the one that we have valued the least.
So you're saying all 3?
I think we got all 3.
Okay, I'll come back by the end of the season to celebrate with you then.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
I hope you're here.
Thank you.